Have you ever gone out to your garden only to discover that your prized plants are now devoid of flowers or have been nibbled down completely to the ground by deer? I'm Sarah Raudio, horticulture educator at Michigan State University Extension, and today we'll be sharing some smart gardening techniques to help you learn how to deter deer from your garden.
Gardeners have been plagued by deer damage for generations, but why are we seeing more damage than ever to our home landscapes? Woodlands, wetlands, and meadows are still present in Michigan, but we're increasing space we occupy with new roads, shopping areas, and homes. As natural habitat for deer is lost, deer begin to spend more time in areas populated by humans. Since deer are very adaptable, they may be just as happy foraging in your yard as they would be in a natural area. In fact, they may actually prefer what you have planted in your garden over their natural diet. Furthermore, when so many of our living landscapes consist of limited plant varieties, such as large expanses of grass, deer will actively search out yards with many yummy choices, such as the vegetables in your garden.
Understanding deer behavior, learning how to deter deer from your garden, and setting up barriers to prevent deer from entering your garden in the first place are the three major steps you can take towards smart gardening with deer.
So one of the things a smart gardener can do is to choose plants for the landscape that are highly resistant to deer feeding.
Wintertime favorites include evergreen trees and shrubs, like cedars, also called arborvitae, and yew. They will also browse on rhododendron, winter creeper, holly, and false cypress. They like small deciduous trees, such as Japanese maples, and many ornamental shrubs, including roses. In spring and summer, the garden becomes filled with lush herbaceous plants, juicy tulips, crunchy hostas, delicious daylilies. In late summer, male deer begin to use the trunks of woody plants to rub off their antler velvet. These buck rubs tend to occur on younger trees and can damage them and leave lasting scars. Deer also love all parts of fruit trees, which makes it important to protect these trees year-round, particularly when they are young. The best defense against deer is to plant things they don't like. Deer tend to be dissuaded by fuzzy or coarse leaves and stems, and by plants with pungent odors or natural toxins. Lamb's ears, ornamental grass, ferns, herbs, Russian sage, nepeta, and snakeroot are all great choices. While deer love traditional bulbs, such as tulips, they avoid daffodils, alliums, grape hyacinths, and autumn blooming crocuses. As for trees and shrubs, deer tend to avoid pines, spruces, Russian cypress, and boxwood. In spring and summer, good choices are forsythia, weigela, spirea, and ninebark. For late season color, try calicarpa, also called beautyberry, or potentilla. If you still have plants that deer enjoy eating, consider using homemade or commercial deer repellents.
Repellents can be a very effective tool for gardeners trying to keep deer out of the garden. They use taste and smell to help prevent the deer, or at least thwart the deer from coming in.
All repellents work to some degree, but deer can acclimate to one, so it is best to employ several different types. Some people even claim household items like scented soap can repel deer. One surefire way to stop deer browsing is to fence your whole yard. For most gardeners, this is unpopular and costly. Physical barriers such as wraps, netting, and small fencing are much more practical. Even though deer can leap over a 6-foot fence, they are sometimes reluctant to enter smaller areas. Gardeners can also attach netting to stakes with staples, twine, or zip ties. Old tomato cages, wire hanging baskets, and milk crates can be anchored in place with tent stakes to cover small plants like heuchera. Gardeners can also protect young trees from buckrub by wrapping the trunks with plastic or paper commercial tree wraps. But take care to occasionally replace wraps to avoid moisture buildup or insect infestation. During the growing season, deer are frustrated if they have to stick their nose or hooves through something they cannot see. So running fishing line through a perennial garden by attaching it to the perennials themselves or to stakes creates a web of confusion.
Hey, I know it can be frustrating dealing with deer in your garden, but just follow these 3 tips.